Did Disney really ruin Star Wars? Current state of Star Wars is actually the best it's been in years. I mean, yeah, I said it. If you don't agree, then that's cool. But stick around, because I'm breaking down exactly why the current state of Star Wars is actually amazing. So let's go ahead and rewind. Back in 2012, Disney bought Lucasfilm. The promise? A brand new trilogy, new stories, a revival of Star Wars for a brand new generation. And The Force Awakens delivered on that hype. It brought back Han, Leia, and a mysterious new villain in Kylo Ren. But then came The Last Jedi. Personally, I love this movie, but I definitely understand its flaws. But the rest of the fandom definitely is split on this film. Some called it bold, others called it blasphemy, and by the time The Rise of Skywalker landed, even Palpatine was confused, because somehow he returned. Yeah, we're still scratching our heads at that one. I mean, the sequel trilogy ended with more questions than answers, which really unsatisfied a lot of fans, me included in that part. And the fandom really felt exhausted. But here's the twist. The chaos, it forced Disney and Lucasfilm to rethink everything. Then out of nowhere, The Mandalorian arrived. No Skywalkers, no Death Stars, just a bounty hunter and a green baby. And suddenly, we were hooked on Star Wars again. Grogu literally became a global icon. Then Djarin gave us a new kind of hero to follow, and Star Wars just felt right again. The genius behind it, gotta give it up to Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, they didn't just make this show. They made Star Wars feel magical again. I mean, they brought back the mystery, the mythology, the heart, all in a show that balanced weekly adventures with long-term storytelling. Let's be real, seeing Luke Skywalker return that way, I still think about it as one of the greatest moments in all of Star Wars. But now let's talk about Dave Filoni. Because if there's anyone who understands Star Wars like George Lucas, it would be him. I mean, Filoni definitely worked directly alongside George on the Clone Wars. I mean, he even created Ahsoka Tano. He expanded the Mandalorian culture, and he made us care about Anakin Skywalker again. Filoni doesn't just write stories. I believe he builds mythology. Similar to George, he knows that Star Wars is about more than just lightsabers. I mean, it's about destiny, legacy, balance, and belief. I mean, even the prequels were really political and kind of like a soap opera. Star Wars is all genres. And now Filoni's stepping into the movie side of things. And that's a big deal, because with him in charge, I believe Star Wars finally has a unified vision again. Now, while the movies hit a pause, TV became the new frontier, and Star Wars has been thriving on the small screen. I mean, Mandalorian continues to evolve. It's no longer just about Grogu. It's about Mandalore as a whole. The culture, the identity, and the restoration is about all Mandalorians, the namesake. And the Book of Boba Fett had its problems. Probably my least favorite out of all of these TV series. But it gave us a new angle on the classic character. I mean, we even got to explore Tatooine like never before and learn more about the Tuskens. Then came Andor. And that means to say, Andor is one of the best written Star Wars stories ever told, no doubt. No Jedi, no Force, just rebellion, fascism, sacrifice, and really showing us how mature Star Wars can be while still maintaining the core heart and story elements. I mean, Luther's monologue, the prison arc, not gonna lie, y'all, that's peak. And if you hating on it, I don't understand it, not one bit. And then we have Ahsoka, a cosmic, mythological, weird space adventure that literally brought us a whole new galaxy, and is really like a sequel to Rebels in a degree, just in the live action format. It brought Ezra Bridger into the live action. It gave us Thrawn in live action, people, and it explored the world between worlds. Dave Filoni didn't just play it safe, in my opinion, and it really paid off. See, Star Wars thrives in live action, but also in animation. Think about it. I mean, animation is not just for kids. It's canon. It's crucial. Clone Wars Season 7 gave us one of the best finales in Star Wars history, with Ahsoka and Rex escaping Order 66 and seeing Ahsoka versus Maul. Like, come on now. Then we have the Bad Batch diving into the aftermath on how the clones are discarded, how the Empire replaces them. Then we have the Tales series, giving us short emotional arcs about characters like Dooku and even Yaddle. Yes, Yaddle, people. She returned, and it worked. And the animation side is keeping the heart of Star Wars alive. And it doesn't stop there. The future of Star Wars looks brighter than the twin sunset on Tatooine, people. So let's talk about some recent projects that are up and coming and have already released, like The Acolyte. Now, this show is probably the most controversial of any Star Wars project to date. You know what? Any Disney project to date. Now, I'm not going to act like the show was perfect, even though personally I did love it. But let's be for real. A lot of the negative discourse is from people who either entered the show already from a negative point of view or never even watched it. And you can always tell when someone has valid criticism. They gave the show a chance and just didn't enjoy it, and that's totally fine. But then there are the people who wanted to hate on it for no reason and never gave it the time of day. But that's enough about the acolyte. I'm actually going to save that for a future video. Instead, let's move on to another show that I actually loved a lot, which was Skeleton Crew. See, this was a coming-of-age adventure. Many people compared it, of course, to The Goonies or E.T., and like I said, I was actually surprised by how much I loved this show and its cast. But up and coming, we have Dave Filoni's crossover movie. Of course, we have the Mandalorian Grogu film. But also we're going to see Ahsoka, Boba Fett, and Thrawn uniting in a massive galactic conflict. We're even getting the Dawn of the Jedi, which is going to be the origin of the Force, something along those lines, that's set approximately 25,000 years prior to A New Hope. Rey is returning to building a new Jedi Order in another film, and before you write it off by comparing it to the sequel trilogy and just hating it immediately, just think about the possibilities. If anything, this could resolve many of the issues people have with the sequels, and it shows me that Lucasfilm isn't afraid to keep moving forward. Plus, at the recent Star Wars celebration, we learned about Star Wars Starfighter, a new film that's going to be starring Ryan Gosling of all people. And in 2026, we're even getting a Maul-centered animated show with Sam Witwer once again returning to voice Maul. Genuinely, I don't see how as a Star Wars fan that doesn't at least pique your interest. I mean, come on, this isn't just content. This is lore building. This is ambition. The only thing I really want more from Star Wars is I do want them to include some more EU material. I mean, the extended universe definitely had its problems, but things like the Old Republic and seeing the Sith versus the Jedi of the past, I really hope we implement. I do have my theories that they're going to do something along those lines and bring that back, but that's a topic for another video. And let's go ahead and talk about the fandom, because let's be honest, Star Wars fans can be tough. But lately, there's something different in the air, man. People are excited again. Not just arguing over canon or what ruined the sequels or the EU did it better, but sharing theories, cosplaying, celebrating. Star Wars celebration events feel electric again. And with each new project, more fans are finding their way back to the franchise. This year is the 20th year anniversary of Revenge of the Sith, and I see so many people excited about going to see this movie in theaters. And it lets me know that the fans are still there. We just have to find common ground with the fans and with what Lucasfilm has to offer. That is hope within itself, because this isn't just about fixing what went wrong, it's about building something new. Each show is exploring a different corner of the galaxy. Each story adds depth, complexity, and meaning. I mean, the Force isn't just about space magic, it's philosophy. The Jedi aren't perfect, we know this, they're human. And rebellion is messy, costly, but worth it. This era of Star Wars is rich, ambitious, and alive. People are hyped again, not about repeating the past, but about where this galaxy is going. This year's Star Wars celebration in Japan confirmed that. Not only is Star Wars still relevant, but I believe it's more important than ever before, because now we have new heroes, complex villains, deeper Force lore, and fans are finding common ground through shows, comics, and gaming, which are expanding the lore as we know it. There's literally something out there for everyone. So I understand if certain projects don't work for you, but the thing about Star Wars that I love is it's a mythology. This is an entire universe of stories, and each story can be told for someone different. Sure, there should be common ground for the average fan. I absolutely totally agree. But at the same time, even if something doesn't work for you, there is something out there in this universe that can and will work for you. You just have to be open-minded about it. I mean, don't let the internet fool you. People love Star Wars, especially the upcoming generation of young fans. I mean, yeah, the discourse still exists, but the excitement is louder than ever before. See, what makes this era so special isn't just quantity, it's the passion. Each show explores a unique side of the galaxy. Each project builds towards something bigger, and whether it's the inner conflict of Andor, the mentorship of Ahsoka, or the pure wonderful adventures of Grogu, this era is recapturing that original spark George Lucas always talked about, people: hope, mystery, and mythology. There are a lot of people who hate the direction Star Wars has been going, but I also challenge those same people to look from a different perspective. Are you upset with the way Star Wars is going? Or are you upset with how society has changed? And the media you grew up with is a product of that. Similar to the prequels, they were hated by fans of the original series. And even back in the 80s, people considered Return of the Jedi as a failure. But Star Wars has always been progressive because it has always been ahead of its time and challenges audiences. To the point, if you told someone today you dislike the prequels, especially Revenge of the Sith, they will look at you crazy. I mean, this is a franchise that has had its problems, absolutely, for sure. But to be fair, this isn't new. Star Wars has always has issues since the very beginning. But the passion for these characters and stories has been and always will be present. Because look, Star Wars has always been about change. What we're seeing right now, this is a rebirth. It's not perfect. It never was. But it's passionate, it's bold, and it's telling stories that matter. But if you've been bummed out and burned by this before, I get it. But maybe, just maybe it's time to come back. But let me know what you think in the comments. Go ahead and comment down below what's your favorite new Star Wars project and old. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, give it a like, subscribe for more deep dives, and as always, may the Force be with you.